Today's video is all about the new armor leaks for the new Mists of Avalon. Let's get into it. The first one is the Cloth Sandals. Spell is called Translucent. It turns you into an ethereal form, becoming untargetable, immune to all effects while channeling for X amount of seconds. Every time you pass through an enemy player, your move speed is increased by a percentage, reduced damage you deal by a percentage, duration of crowd control recede by a percentage for X seconds, and it stacks up to X amount of times. Then we have the Cloth Armor. Now, the way this works is, think of that card-throwing character from League of Legends, Twisted Fate. You have a Storm Shield, which increases your resistance by a percentage, and then enemies in the radius are stunned if they hit you. Ring of Fire, you make a circle of fire around you, and if enemies touch the fire, they take X amount of damage over X seconds, okay? And then Frozen Fragments, summon 5 fragments around you. These are like little orbs, and then when you deal damage, it will deal additional damage, and also reduce their max HP for a certain amount of time, and it stacks. So the way it works is you push your armor ability, and it's going to flip through these 3 elements, and then you push your armor ability again to select that armor element. So you won't be able to just cast Storm Shield immediately. You have to like let it tick through like Ring of Fire, Frozen Fragment, Storm Shield, and then push your R button once again. The Cloth Cowl has the Mistwalker ability where you turn into a cloud of mist for a big amount of, like a certain amount of radius. It grants immunity to all effects while you channel, and any allies inside the cloud are going to be invisible. If you attack, or if they attack, it will reveal them. For leather shoes, you have After Image, where you dash towards a target position, and in your old position, you leave a clone of yourself for a certain amount of seconds. You will receive more damage while this is active. You can recast the ability to return towards the clone. So imagine a Zerg versus Zerg where everyone is casting this all the time, which I don't think they will, but it'll be funny. This one might be interesting, the Leather Jacket's Immortality ability. You become unkillable for X amount of seconds, meaning you can't drop below 1 HP, you can't die, but when when it runs out, you are now vulnerable. Leather Hood Hyper Focus. Casts and channeled abilities are uninterruptible, become immune to debuffs for X seconds. I want to know if this works when you get knocked back, because otherwise bolt casters just became top tier. Well, we just found the new Corrupted meta boot for glove users. This is Heavy Charge, the plate boots. Dash towards the target position, knock all enemies back in the same direction that you charged, deals physical damage on contact, and if you knock them into a wall or the environment, if they collide with it, they will be stunned for X seconds. So you can knock people into traps, knock them into walls to stun them, interrupt their casts, all sorts of fun stuff. This is going to be a meta boot for sure. The plate armor is Armor Web. You place a web under your feet for X radius, slows all enemies by a percentage. It grants allies immunity to slows and roots, and enemies in the web for a certain amount of seconds are rooted for X seconds. This could be a new initiate, a new dive armor. I think that might be pretty cool. And the plate helmet has Spider's Thread. It's a 2-part ability. The first one is you shoot a web in a target direction. It deals X amount of damage to the first enemy hit. This slows by a percentage for a certain amount of seconds, decreases their attack speed by a percentage for a certain amount of seconds. And if you land this skill shot, you can enable a second ability, which just lets you dash to the first enemy you hit. And there you go, that's the Mist of Avalon leaks. I just want to keep it short for you. I don't get paid unless the video is 8 minutes or longer, so consider donating. Appreciate you guys. Mwah.